We're losing sedans one by one. They're slowly disappearing from the marketplace. It makes me sad to see because I do not want to see crossover SUVs everywhere I look out on the streets. It made me so sad I actually lost my hair. It's crazy. But in this video, we're going to have a look at my top 5 sedans on sale right now in 2025. I know there's gonna be a very, people are gonna comment, you missed this one, you missed that. I mean, I can only choose 5, and these were the first 5 that popped into my mind for different reasons. So we're gonna talk about all of those reasons here. Let's just jump straight in with it. They're not in a particular order. So if it's the first one, it doesn't mean that it's the best one, if that makes sense. I just put 5 together here. My 5 personal favorite sedans on sale right now. First of all, we have the Cadillac CT5. Now, we talked about this in our latest Cadillac video, the new concept that they dropped. And Cadillac is a brand that, extremely surprising brand. Who would have thought that they would create a sedan like this? Cadillac, the luxury brand, you would expect like soft, mushy rides, automatic, but then they dropped the CT5 Blackwing and the CT4 Blackwing, and on top of that, performance sedans. They added manual transmissions to these vehicles, even the big CT5. I could not have imagined Cadillac do something like that, and that is the reason why this is on the list, because it deserves to be on the list. Cadillac, it's such a cool brand right now. They've gone from, grandpa vehicles to now serious performance vehicles. I would 100%, 1000% choose this CT5 over the new BMW M5, because I honestly do not like the design of the new M5 one bit. BMW in general has just lost it a little bit, and that is the reason why this is on the list here. And of course, if you look at this design, it has such a beautiful chiseledness to it. Very thin, wide grille up top, exactly like I want to see. We have a clear separation here, of course. Lower intakes looking beautiful, and of course, I mean, it's a manual. It's extremely hard to get a manual in 2025, especially from an American brand, and I love to see it. Now, looking at the side view, this is where everything comes together. Have a look at the shoulder line right here. See where it starts? Starts right there. See where it ends as well? Right there. And what are those points right there? This is the corner of the front headlights going straight into the corner of the taillight. We do have the CT5 Blackwing wider fenders as well, looking beautiful. Would switch out the wheels 100%. I do not like these black wheels on this vehicle. Want to have them be silver or something else. We have a nice line here at the bottom as well. But the key thing about the CT5 and the CT4 is just a classic, very classic looking sedan proportions, meaning we have a 3-box design. We have this black wing. Who would have thought in the name that we would have a black wing actually on the vehicle? But that's what we have right here. That sends the design off in a nice way. You can see the line flow here. Look at the line flow. We have one line right here in the side. Does it come back in the back? Yes, it does. It does come back here and creates a definition for the bumper. We have this line in the lower section. Does it come back in back? Yes, it comes back right here. And of course, the big, beautiful shoulder line there as well. Fantastic job by Cadillac when it comes to this design. And the rear end as well, we can continue the lines here. You see right here in the side view coming back in the bumper as well, and then we have this big diffuser in the lower section. But the thing about this diffuser, does it look too crazy to you? Does it look too wild and geometrical like we have on the M5, for example? No, this is a very subtle in modern terms. If you look at all the other car brands creating performance vehicles today, this is a beautiful integration of exactly how I want to see a diffuser integrated. It's just part of the lower part of the bumper like that. And then we have the Blackwing up here looking beautiful, probably carbon fiber right there. And you can see that the graphics, love this as well, forgot to say this, that if you draw the shoulder line, it continues into the key graphics of the headlight right there, and also in the rear end. So the body, the sheet metal itself has a 100% clear connection to what's going on in the key graphics in the front and the rear. Just a stunning design, and I can just draw lines all over this vehicle all day and find more line flow like this. Now, second car is going to be Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Beautiful looking car. I mean, I'm not sure where Alfa is headed in the future, but to me, this is a proper Italian design. It looks like an animal, exactly like I want to see. Now, this is different from the Cadillac because this has way more rounded features, organic fluid lines, and soft surfaces as well. And this front end looks like the mouth of a some sort of predator or something like that, specifically when we have it in the quadrifoglio trim with this, you see this carbon fiber piece, just how organic it looks. Look at this area right here, how it flows and creates different surfaces, different reflections in the small details. And of course we have the grille in the front end being typical Alfa Romeo. Now, they said that they're going to go full EV Alfa, but they dialed it back a little bit, something that we've seen so many companies do recently. They said maybe 5 years ago Mercedes was going to go 100% EV. They definitely dialed that back, and a bunch of different companies just sort of, maybe they see that the sales of EVs are not what they expected to be yet, so they need to bring in some more revenue before they take that big step, and that is what's happening here. I hope it happens with Alfa Romeo as well, because this has one of the greatest engines of all time. I do think it's derived from the Ferrari California, if I'm not mistaken. Just remove 2 cylinders, and then they put essentially a Ferrari engine in this. Sounds great, handling is beautiful, and of course, this profile, stunning design. Look at how far the hood goes out, and the rakeness we have of the windshield going back here, creating this very nice fluid design. We have a shoulder line right here. You can see it connecting to the corner of the taillight. So you see how this comes back in a lot of vehicles. If you want to sketch cars, if you want to learn how to sketch cars, focus on connecting the shoulder line, the key lines that stretches across the entire body of the car. Focus on connecting those with key elements in the front and the rear. It doesn't necessarily have to be the corner of the headlight and the taillight, but something, it needs to connect with something in the front and the rear to have a nice flow to it. Now, in this case, we do have the black wheels. I would want to have them be 100% again. I mean, I'm going to say it again, but I want to have these be silver. The silver wheels with these round holes in it look way more beautiful than this. I mean, these look great as well, but I can't just appreciate the design because they're all black, so I can't see what's going on in this design itself, and that is the main reason why I always want to have silver wheels. Now, looking at the rear end, I mean, look at the plantedness of this. The quadrifoglio gains some additional wide fenders right here. The wheels look great as well, the plantedness of this vehicle, and we have a similar situation that we have in the CT5 when it comes to the integration of the diffuser down here. I also love that we have dual exhaust pipes right there in the middle and an absolutely park bench for wing up here, which looks beautiful. I think it suits the overall design because this is a key graphics that take up a lot of visual real estate, the diffuser in the lower section. We need to balance that out some way, and I think this wing balanced this out, the diffuser in the lower section. So we have a key element up top, and we also have it at the bottom as well. Beautiful looking taillights as well. I really like what Alfa Romeo did overall with the Giulia design. We're gonna have to wait and see what the next Giulia is going to look like. Probably, honestly, probably not as good as this one right here. Now, the third vehicle I put in here, this is one of the biggest surprises for me. When I had this for 1 week, I fell in love with the Genesis G90. What a car this is. I would choose this over the 7 Series, I would choose it over the Audi A8, I would choose it over the Mercedes S-Class, because this feels like it's in a Bentley level of comfort. And what Genesis does so well is it makes the passengers, it makes it feel like the car like cares for the passenger inside. There are small details that you notice only in Genesis that makes it feel like it actually cares about the comfort of the passenger in a way I haven't felt in a different car. And keep in mind, the Genesis has only been around for 10 years. I mean, it's a decade-old brand, and these are the vehicles that they come out with. I mean, this is a very unique-looking design. We have the 2-stroke design right here, and very simple. We have this entire hood is this clamshell design. It looks super exotic when you pop up the hood because it has this beautiful clamshell design to it. And it's just a stunning looking machine. And look at the proportions of this. This looks like Gotham City to me. And if I had the 10 best sedans, for 2025. I would have the G70, or I mean, the G70 and the G80 in here as well. I just didn't want to pick 3 Genesis models because I think they do their designs these days so well. Look at the line flow here in this graphic in the lower section. We have a shoulder line right here, chisel design, and of course the 2-line design right here that goes through the side indicators and then comes back right here into the taillights as well. An absolutely beautiful design. Both of these wheels, I kind of like them. These look a little bit too messy for the overall the general design of the G90 because it's such a simplistic, beautiful, elegant design. Definitely prefer these wheels that we have down here to the ones we have up top. Looking at the rear end, look at this line right here. Very nice, one single line that is definitely sketched by hand. This does not feel like it was designed in a 3D software from the get-go. It actually feels like these are strokes from a hand that's actually sketched out this car. Also love the shoulder line here, how it goes through the door handles and then creates this shelf up top right here that then fades into the front end. What a design this is. I think this deserves some type of design award. I'm not sure if it's gotten any of that, but it definitely deserves to have it for sure. Now, number 4, we have from my motherland, from the home country, Sweden, Volvo S60. Now, unfortunately, Volvo is discontinuing this S60 for 2026 model. You can still buy it right now. I think the cars that are on the lot right now at Volvo dealers, you can buy them obviously, but they're not taking in any more S60s or V60s. The V60 Polestar Engineer, one of my favorite cars I've reviewed this year. What a great daily driver. You have the EV range about 30 miles or so. You have 455 horsepower, wagon design, beautiful lines, and the S60, if we take the sedan version of this, it's still a very, very stunning looking design. Very Scandinavian. Nothing in this design, there is nothing here that don't serve a purpose for this design. We have a clear separation again, beautiful grille here for Volvo, Thor's hammer headlights, and look at the small details around the headlights, how it's tucked into the front end, and also has these beautiful chamfers in the lower section, and also a small chamfer up top right there that connects to the corner of the grille. What a design this is. This is what I want to see more of from Volvo, but unfortunately Volvo is heading into this product design feel, which is very sad to see. I want to keep this more chiseled, simple Scandinavian design like we have here. The side view is absolutely stunning as well. I mean, line flow over line flow. We can talk about line flow all day when it comes to the Volvos of this era. Look at the hood design, how beautiful it goes in with a very confident vertical front end, and we have this line in the lower section have a clear connection to what's going on in the bumper right there, and of course this line coming back also connecting to the same line. And thankfully we don't have black wheels. These are gorgeous looking wheels. These wheels are not a type of wheels that I personally want to switch out. I think they look absolutely fantastic. And silver, thankfully silver, and on top of that we also have the silver rim connecting the spokes themselves, exactly like I want to see. 5-spoke design as well, just spot on. And the proportions of this, one of the best proportions from any sedan is the Volvo S60. I think it's still, if we keep this in production for 10 more years, it would still look like a very modern, gorgeous, timeless looking design. Same goes of course for the rear end. Now this being, I do think this is the R model, because we do have the R wheels. We also have the visible exhaust pipes down here, something that Volvo got rid of with the facelift. Huge mistake, because having these exhaust pipes down here definitely adds character to this design, adds sportiness to this design. And you can see this European style for the bumper. We talked about this before, this waterfall design coming down from the base of the taillight and then going down like this from the very corner, very base of the taillight, going down and creating the definition for the bumper right there. We have the same thing here, of course, obviously you can see it there as well. Very European style for the bumper, and I love the small little nail spoiler that we have up top here, looking stunning. You can see the lines coming down from the greenhouse here as well, and the shoulder line connecting to the corner of the taillight right there. What a design. Unfortunately, people didn't buy it here in the States. They want the Volvo XC60 instead. Big tall SUVs, the XC40 as well is selling pretty well, so those are still on sale for 2026, but unfortunately we're losing the S60 and the V60. That's just how it goes. They gotta make money, I guess. Now, the last but not least, we have the Mercedes S-Class. Now, this is something that I was considering not picking, but then after a while, you know, when this first came out, the problem I had with the S-Class is that the rear end looked way too... It didn't have this boss feel like the previous generation had, with the, you know, the volumes in the rear of this does not look as strong as the previous generation. It looks a little bit weak in the rear, but the elegance and the, again, just what I'm looking for is the line flowing cars, specifically sedans, because sedans, you can create them very beautifully because you stretch out the lines. You have a lot of length to drag out the lines and create these beautiful sculptures here. And I do think this has grown on me since it first came out, with the headlight design here connecting to, or this line connecting to the corner of the grille right there. I would maybe want to have it not in chrome, the AMG version, with the bigger intakes in the lower section also blacked out. But this, I mean, it's an S-Class, so a little bit of chrome kind of suits this vehicle. I still prefer, though, the previous generation from this, because the previous generation had more solid-looking headlights like this, and specifically in the rear. The rear of the previous generation just had this, you know, it looked like it weighed 10,000 pounds because it sat so nicely on the ground with the taillights. Here, we look at the side view first. Look at this beautiful shoulder line again, stretching all across here. Line flowing in the lower section as well, going straight into this bumper. We have a chrome trim right there, and we have the greenhouse. Now, in typical Mercedes fashion, we used to have with the W140, for example, S-Class, the Bruno Sacco version, was a lot more boxy than this. And now we have this more fluid design across the entire model range for Mercedes, which still looks good. It's nothing wrong with it. Personally, I just prefer the more clear 3-box design that we had in the W140, for example. Well, we can still sketch this out using 3 boxes like that. Pretty simple to do. You can see that the D-pillar in this case, the base of the D-pillar sits right above the center portion of the rear axle, and we have the A-pillar again going down, as we talked about in other models, how you want to sketch a sedan. If we draw this out, boom, straight into the center points of the front axle right there. Just a beautifully proportioned design, and there's not a lot I want to change for this. I did make a redesign of this when it first came out in 2021 back in the day, but the rear end, this is the only thing that I would like to change about the S-Class. It's just the taillights, because the taillights, if you draw a line like this, like straight in the middle, you have the same length right here. Now we're looking at it from a specific angle obviously, that we have going inward. So it creates a very balanced looking graphic. It doesn't pull in either direction. It feels static. I want to have it be a little bit more dynamic than this, but it's still a beautiful looking design. I mean, we have a very clear Mercedes DNA in this vehicle. Now, these are my top 5 sedans for sale in 2025. Let me know which one I missed, because I know you have 1 or 2 sedans that you want to put on this list. One that I was considering putting on this list instead of the S-Class was actually the new Honda Accord from 2023. I think that is a beautiful looking design. Very stately, very elegant looking compared to the previous generation. But let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.